Salve, my name is Sierra Wolf, so this is my presentation on ancient Rome traveling and road building. All of my information is from the NLE Advanced Roman Civilization Study Guide. I am a student, so my information is likely to be wrong. The study guide was by Jose Molina. So, as you look on the vocab, there are, on the study guide, there are about 8 types of carriages. Well, actually 7, but it makes a reference to the Lectica, which I have right here. So for the first two, Lectica and Pasterna, this is a Lectica. It was um, you ever see those paramedics carrying someone on that thing? It was kind of like that, except it wasn't because the person was injured. It was because the person was of high status, and instead of being carried by paramedics who were trying to save the person, it was being carried by unpaid slaves and person rich and whatever. And it was nice. It wasn't like cloth or anything. It was made out of wood, metal, cloth, whatever they used. And as you see here, the Lectica with 2 mules instead of carriers is a definition for Pasterna. It's basically kind of the same thing here, although it doesn't look the same with these pictures. But it was being carried by mules, not horses, mules, instead of slaves, and was carried by 2. Whereas here, depending on what type of Lectica, carried by the different whatevers. And then in here, we have the palentum, and then we have the carpentum. So the palentum and the carpentum are basically the same thing. Notice here it says 2 horse cart for vessels and priests, 2 horse cart for vessels and priests. The only difference is the amount of wheels. The palentum has 4 wheels and the carpentum has 2 wheels. Apart from that, everything's pretty much the same. So try to remember palentum, 4 wheels, carpentum, 2 wheels. Now you may notice here that I have the same image for the palentum as if my image would load again, that's sweet, as the palentum as the carga. No, my pronunciations are probably not correct. That is because it's insanely hard to find pictures of these things, but it has basically the same kind of whatever. Just pretend that it's different. So the praetorium was a cart used for baggage, slaves, and spoils of triumph. It was not a luxury cart. It was a very functional cart. I couldn't actually find an actual image of a praetorium. This is the closest thing that I've been able to find. It wouldn't have been anything fancy because, again, it's for essentially property. Whereas the carcura was luxurious. It would have had a bed. It would have been for rich people, patricians, most likely, that type of thing. As for their actual structure, I was not able to find information about that on the study guide. So you might just want to go off of the definitions listed. And then here we have the rida and the cisium, or the kisium. So the main difference between these two is weight and use. So the rida would have been heavy. It had two or 4 horses, 4 wheels. It was not something that was light to carry or travel with. Whereas the cisium was very light, basically no baggage. It was uncovered. It would have been just a quick little ride from wherever, right? A rider would have been used for things like people who have baggage, or they're going for a very long time and they need to carry all of these things with them. That's what this would have been like. The cisium would have been a day or less worth of travel, very light baggage, only about 2 people, right? Keep that in mind. And then there was the construction of the road. Now, ancient Rome is known for their roads. They were very on a grid-like pattern. If you notice my background here, it actually goes along with this theme. if you look on like pictures of like skyline pictures of Rome itself or whatever, it was very much on a grid-like pattern, and the roads were very sturdy. They would be repaired with things like molten iron and things like that, because even though they were very sturdy, which they had to be sturdy, the carts and all of the mules and all of the traffic would have like worn away those roads. So they had, and the Romans took very great pride in their roads and their road systems. It was very much a sign of a thriving civilization. And here's how they built their roads. So the Via Munitio is the construction of the road. Now, in order to make it, they would make a fossa, or a cut of the intended road. So they would dig into the earth that they were going to do it, and then they would make the earth level with rammers. I tried to find the ancient Roman rammers and the names for them, but I couldn't. Apologies. And then they would put down the statumen, or a layer of palm-sized rocks, right down in here, just to kind of like act as a base for that. And then they would add a rudis, which is a 9-inch layer of coarse concrete, rubble, broken stones, and lime. Now, I do not know if the lime was heated or not. Keep in mind that concrete is made of like heated lime, of like heated quick lime that is then has water added to it and like has stuff and whatever. It's made with like the lime is the base. So I don't know if that's what they mean here. Again, I'm only a student, but it's very much like loose here, and we're getting more and more sturdy as we go on. And then it's about like 9 inches. So try to remember that rudis is 9 inches. And then we go a little bit thinner, although it doesn't look like it's thinner on this picture, with the nucleus. So the nucleus is a 6-inch layer of fine concrete, like pure concrete. Keep in mind that Roman concrete is not like our concrete, because they made it out of solid things, because they like added, because of the way they added the ingredients. Nowadays we have like the quick lime and the gravel already mixed together, but back in the day they would water and then you add water to it. Nowadays we have like the lime and the gravel and the sand all mixed together, and then we add water to it. But back in ancient Rome's day, they would take the lime, they would add water to that, and then add the rubble and all of that. There was more steps, and it made the concrete more secure. So don't think of like weak concrete with this. This is very strong, very advanced concrete. And it was 6 inches. Try to remember that. It's very fine concrete. It wouldn't have had big things of rocks in it. It would have probably been made out of sand. And dorsum was the final layer of blocks of lava and hard stones. This I directly took out of the study guide. I sincerely doubt that they used Minecraft lava blocks for this. It would have been hardened lava, probably something like obsidian or something, and hard stones, like for the surface. This would have made the surface more level and smoother, which you'll see in like upcoming pictures. Here is another diagram and like more parts of the road. So you have the Agere Vii, mounted on either side of the road. It would have been like our modern day curbs. Like if you ever walk down a sidewalk or whatever, usually it's not like road and then sidewalk. There's like some sort of median. This right here, I think, is the same as this. But yeah, there would have been a separation between the Agere Vii. Like the Agere Vii would have been the separation between the road and the Semitai or margines, which are footpaths or sidewalks. The galera is gravel that would replace stones on cheap roads. So these right here would have been stones or galera. Again, you will see a picture in a moment, like that would kind of visualize it better for you. And the divorsoria is a private shopping places along road, which you are going to be able to see now. So here, and you kind of see the road. So let me turn on pen. So this kind of area right here is the Aguirre, and then these would be the Ware Soria. This would have been the sidewalk. Gonna draw that over here too. Terrible penmanship, but whatever. And as you see here, these are the aforementioned stones that I kept hyping up. So yeah. And also, this, I believe, I could be wrong, would have been about the Scimitai or Marganese. Now keep in mind, with these stones right here, that the wheel gauge, that these, and I've seen this on a test before, suggests that Rome had a 5-foot wheel gauge. Terrible penmanship. But yeah, right around there. And these are like walking stones. Carts would have rolled past down here. People, if they wanted to cross the road, would go boop, boop, hop around that. And I'm not sure if that's part of the Scimitai Marganese or if it's only this. I could not find a term for for this. Just keep that in mind. Again, I'm not a Latin teacher. Alright, continuing. So I am allergic to finding good quality maps and finding good quality roads here. But I wanted to, and in this section, traveling and road building, roads don't actually show up here. I do believe they show up in a later section or another section in here that I haven't gotten to, but I wanted to bring up Roman roads since that is part of traveling and just to leave you with something to study here. So this is the Via Aurelia, right around here. This is the Via Appia, also known as the Appian Way. See how wonderfully I traced that. This is the Via Flaminia. And I think this is the Via Cassia. Whatever. These are the main roads, though. So make sure that when you leave this, you do further research on these and figure out where this and this is going to, and this and this and that goes to, and all of that fun stuff. Now this is where I bid you farewell. Wale!